Well, welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Um, okay, we have a couple of topics, excuse me, to talk about today. I'm sorry. The first one is unconditional love to God is the same as basic trust? This is brought up by one of our participants. And we also have a different topic. It's Miss Hilda, you want to say that to us about the robotic habits? Are you there? Okay, we'll get into that one. Can you hear me? Do you hear my voice? Yeah? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the unconditional love and trusting God. And because this comes up a lot in spiritual community and as well as for a lot of us in different phases of our development, we come across this. And and again, this goes back into our ability of whether we have free will or we don't. And since we do have this sense of separation, we feel like we're an individual separated from totality and or somehow in partnership with God, but still there's an entity separated from the whole. Hence there is a ability to choose for itself. And when it comes to trusting, is like, okay, I'm not trusting existence enough. So I need to work on that. If I trust God 100%, then everything is taken care of. I get all the goodies. Because basically, when we're trusting or surrendering to existence, is that if I do the work right, if I'm just practicing enough, if I'm meditating enough, if I can go beyond my fears and worries, if I do it right, that means I am doing it correctly and manifesting something. So I'm manifesting all the goodies. That means I'm really trusting God 100%. Then I get what I want, or I'm taken care of. So there's still a wheeling and dealing here. There's a business transaction happening here. That means, God, I am going to work on myself to trust you 100%. So then, so I can, be taken care of and get what I want. So let's contemplate on this one. And you're not the only one who is involved in this transaction. This is like pretty much for everybody. So don't feel like you're being singled out or you're doing something wrong and you're not getting it. So if we're looking at the entire existence from this point of view, somehow my consciousness has evolved to a point that I'm capable of understanding. This vision has become so strong that I am seeing the complete oneness, and there's no sense of separation in it. Then who am I going to be trusting, or what kind of ability do I have to trust life? Because I'm already one with it. So, this topic about basic trust means I'm trusting God to take care of me. It can be developed in you as you go forward, and you can rely on it. You can keep in points like things get really like rock and rolly and they get dangerous or you get scared. You can always fall back on this place. So it's kind of like having faith. And we also been taught this in our religious schools, whatever religion you're practicing, this has been taught to us that if your faith in God is strong enough, then you are taken care of. Or you can go through all kinds of different issues and you can handle it. So now I'm going to be working on my faith. So my faith is strong enough. And then when things don't go my way and fall apart, then that's an indication I don't have a strong faith. I'm not faithful enough. So right now I'm just talking about if I'm religious, okay? I'm just using this as an example. So I don't have strong faith, and because I'm not really strong, I don't have a strong faith, so something went wrong. So now I need to work on having stronger faith. So then the next time this thing doesn't go wrong. Or when it does go wrong, I'm not shaken, so I can stay still. But basically, most of the time, when we're talking about having a very strong trust, we're referring to this as if my trust is strong enough, then things will go my way. This is back in our psyche, that's how we are viewing it. So this is one thing I want you to take a look. Let's take a moment and kind of look at it. When you're talking about faith or trust in existence, in God, in whatever that has created life, that which is bigger than you and I. Okay, so let's take a look at it right now. Are you looking at it from this point of view that things go your way? Are you, that's one thing. Two, are you looking at it from this point of view that even things fall apart, you're not shaken, you're really strong, and you can go through it and things aren't going your way, things are falling apart. Take a look at it. Take a moment and look at it. See how you're viewing it. Creating a situation by having a very powerful trust in God and existence. That A, things go my way, correct?
Yes.
B, if things don't go my way, I can stay still. I don't fall into despair. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So, right. So basically, and if that doesn't happen, then what is the attitude? Let's say things don't go your way and you feel miserable, or you are not centered. You lose your center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So then what do you think? Generally, if that
Um,
happens, then we think my faith is not strong enough.
Yes.
I
yes.
don't, yeah. I don't meditate enough. I'm not really still, and there's something wrong in my practice. I need to practice more.
I personally are on the point that then in this such moments I think, okay, now is the point that I it's that I have the chance to learn to accept this situation, how the situation is, and that's
Right.
God's will. That this is
Okay.
now how it is.
Right. Right. Okay. Anybody else? No? So basically, if you're powerless, if you're back into the Advaita Vedanta and 5D quantum awareness of coming to this understanding that there is no separation and there is no personal free will. There is the illusion of it. It looks like I am deciding to do this. I'm gonna go to language school, or I'm gonna go to a school, I'm gonna learn a new therapy, a massage, or some new technique. And there is the appearance of it that I've decided to do this. And everything comes together. I have the money for it, I have the time, and I go take the course. And I complete it. And so I did it myself. This was my will, and I focused on it, and it worked out with help of existence. So we're a lot of us operating from that place. But if you step away from that and are willing to just expand your point of view, and and it may even make you feel uncomfortable, which it will, because nobody wants to feel they're powerless. They don't like it. It's not a very attractive topic of, oh, you don't have any free will. You don't have any power in choosing anything in your life. Everything is being chosen for you by existence. Yet it's being presented as your own choice. So if you're willing to come out of your comfort zone and pull back and change your glasses that you're looking at life from this point, then a phenomena may happen. Most people don't, because this is especially right now in neo spirituality, that everything is about the power of yourself and your free will and manifesting. There's a lot of emphasis going on breath work and ceremonies and setting up your intention. It's a very juicy and popular topic right now, intention settings. A lot of the spiritual, neo spiritual gatherings, schools, are emphasizing on it. So if you go to, like, here in California, or in Tulum, or in Sedona, Arizona, places I've been, if I go to a spiritual gathering, immediately everyone's making a circle and let's do an intentional setting. Well, how many times do I need to set up my intention? I mean, sometimes twice a week. If you go to different gatherings or birthday parties or stuff like that in the spiritual communities here in Los Angeles, or in Sedona and in Tulum, there's always this intentional setting is going to come. Well, how many times do you need to set your intention? I mean, and I kind of joke about it that I've set all my intentions before I was born. But isn't it kind of like ridiculous if you're gonna set intentions twice a week or once a week? Isn't that like, let's look at it objectively. How many times do you have to set your intention? And if you're gonna have to do it like twice a week, isn't that you're kind of doubting yourself, doubting your path that you're on? You're not really getting to where you want to get. So you constantly have to set your intentions again and again. I mean, as an existence, you're setting your intentions to what? To existence, right? You're communicating with the existence. When I'm trusting, what am I trusting? When I have faith, I'm surrendering. To what am I surrendering? I am surrendering through existence, right? I'm surrendering to God. I'm surrendering to consciousness, correct? Yes, no? Someone? Yeah? Okay. So, how many times a week do you have to do this? I mean, doesn't consciousness hear you the first time, or second time, or third time, or 50th time? Do you have to remind consciousness regularly that you are trusting it, or it just remembers? So this setting intention or trusting or having this faith to a higher power is being exercised regularly, and it's in relationship between me as an individual and a greater power. So this already creates a separation because it's me and it's the greater power. So I'm trusting it. So if you step away from that and pull back and examine it, objectively from this understanding that there is no separation in between these two, because I cannot, excuse me, I cannot exist. Something, all right. I cannot exist in separately from existence. I'm breathing the same air everybody else is breathing. I'm drinking the same water everyone else is drinking. It's the same food that is being recycled through everyone else. So there's it's really not separated. And I am in this thing as everybody else in it. And of course, I'm trying to navigate my way, but many, many times things happen that they're completely out of my control. And we're not really focusing or paying attention to those parts because we have this sense of being really self-centered. So it's all me doing it. So if I can step back from it for a moment, or through the help of my teacher, and look at it from this other broader angle, if I can just let go of this person that I am, or I think I am, with the good habits and the bad habits. Because the good habits I cherish and say, oh, look at me, I'm good. I get up at 6 in the morning, I do yoga, I do meditation. But the bad habits, I blame myself for having these wicked habits and trying to get rid of it, and we can't. Like, okay, I eat a lot of sugar before I sleep, or I eat junk food, or whatever stuff. I should be exercising more, but I don't. There's all kinds of stuff going on in our lives that we blame ourselves for it, but we keep doing it. But if you are looking at it from the 5D quantum awareness point of view, then you start realizing that you don't really have any choice in it. It's just a function of consciousness which is happening through you, and it's an expression of existence. And so you're one with it. So if you understand that, then, and if it settles in you, it also has the possibility of easing up a lot of the pressure that this self-blame, that I'm not good enough, I'm not practicing enough, I don't have enough faith, I'm not doing it right. So when I delve into the neo spirituality and I get closer to the people who are practicing this intentional setting, this um, manifesting business stuff, I also realize it's very materialistic. It's the opposite of being a sadhu or being a Sufi. It's the opposite of non-attachment, because all this intentional setting or manifestation business is about getting what I want. And it's the goodies I want. I want this, I want that. I want I want a new wife, I want a new girlfriend, I want a new boyfriend, I want a new car, I want more money, I want a better life. It's all about stuff. I want to be more famous, I want to have a more fluid life. Things come to me easily, or I want to have a better health. So it's all about getting something. So it's materialistic, which is, all these masters, the big ones, they they had to let go of everything. Now we have twisted the expression of awakening, of letting go of the body, letting go of the desires, letting go of all the stuff we want. It's changed, and it's got a new looks. It's still a spiritual practice, but it's about getting the things we want to get. And we've given it a new name. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting the things we want to get, because there are a lot of stuff I like to get. And rightfully so, because I have a mind, I have emotions, I got a body, and there's things I want. It's a function of the body-mind mechanism to get things. But let's not mistaken that with liberation. Liberation is different. It's a different entity. It is about dissolving this sense of individuality into the oneness. So even if I say I want to be desireless, I'm working on getting desireless. And which, in those back in the day when I was with Papaji, with Master Punjaji, we were trying to become desireless. But desire, that was another desire, the desire of not having desires. So I don't I don't know if I confused you more or I made anything clear, but the truth of the matter is that there is the appearance. It looks like we are doing things. and we're getting things or we're not getting things. And also in this process, there's like a period of being in the limbo, because before the spirit had shown itself to us, before that happened, you were an ordinary person like your family, your friends, your cousins. Um, you went to the football match, you drank the beer and you ate the hot dog, you cheered, you saluted to your flag of the country, and you were normal like everybody else. You feared disease, you feared death, uh, you hated other people or loved other people. Um, but then all of a sudden, God showed itself to you, and you got a glimpse of the absolute. So then, but it's not there all the time. So now you got pulled into this path because you got a taste of God. And that silence, that stillness, you got a taste of complete oneness. Now, you could have been on LSD, or you did an ayahuasca journey, or, or, you had a cosmic make love, whatever. Whatever took place, or you sat with your guru, your teacher, and something, whatever event happened, and you got a very good glimpse of the oneness. Now you can't go back. You can't go back to the way you used to be, but you are not there either. You're not in this place that you're in this oneness all the time. So a lot of people, seekers, are in this state of limbo if they're in between. And we get a glimpse of the absolute and all this conversation, or we go to our teacher, we sit together and our hearts open up, we feel the oneness, but then we also go back into getting contracted. So because it's not there all the time. So this is like a period of limbo, which is very difficult. And I don't know how long this period of limbo lasts for each person, but there is a period of limbo. You're not here and you're not there. And that's sometimes you can become very miserable because you're really trying. You think if you try more, you meditate more, you practice more, you do more cleansing, you set up your intention more, or you let go, or you have stronger faith, then you'll get to that place faster. But that doesn't even work either. Sometimes it appears that it's working, but then you just fall back into this place you're at. So misery comes back. So these are the point, the moments that we go to our teachers. We go to those who have gone to this path. They walk through it, and they can guide us. They can't remove the stuff, because you still have to do your time until your time is there, and the shift and transformation happens automatically. But there's comfort in it when we go back to our teachers and we see that, okay, these are the people we really like and we feel gravitated towards, or they've got to the light and they bring comfort. Then you listen to their stories and you just hear that they've gone through the same thing you are going through, because nobody else can help you. You go to your church, or you go to your parents or your family, and they don't know anything about it. They think you're psycho, or you're confused and you need medication, or you got to go see some doctor or you get some therapy. You go to a modern spiritual teacher and they're telling you you're not focusing, or your intentions are not strong enough, or you're not manifesting, you know, that you need to work on manifesting. So that's confusing too. But then you go back to the old ancient ways of the few that they got it. And when you dive into that, if you feel resonated with them, then it will guide you into this dark tunnel towards the light. And then, you start seeing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You get glimpses. So it brings you back into your center. It's basically, coming back from this world of the mind that wants to go crazy. And then you just come back into your center. You just come back. You just pull back. And it becomes quiet. And let's do it right now. Let's just come back here. Let's just come back to our center. From the world of the thoughts, from the world of the war, all these stories we're hearing, blah, 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 Donald Trump, Israel, Iran, flooding, the end of the world, there's not going to be this, there's not, from all these, the economy of the world is going to collapse. All the stories that you hear, or your personal stories, whatever it is, you're going to lose your home, or your husband is going to divorce you, or your children going to leave you, or you're going to get cancer, you're going to get old, you're going to die. Whatever the story is, you just let the story go and just come back into your own center. Just come back here and let's see what's going on. So you can see when you come back to yourself, things just mellow down. When you come back to your own center, all of a sudden everything calms down. So if it was chaotic, then it should remain chaotic. But why is it coming down? Why things mellow down when you go back inside your own center? Because basically, this chaos is inside your own self. It's not outside. It's the chaos that we're experiencing within ourselves, which we can view it as a good thing because this chaos, because it's disturbing, leads us into discovering the inner silence, leads you to come back home, leads you to come back into just being quiet, being still, not being involved if you can help it, not getting involved with the stuff, the world, the drama of the world, the stories. You kind of like disconnect from the stories, you come back, And then you kind of reset yourself. And then, of course, you're involved with the world. So, but now you are, look at it from a different perspective and things calm down. If you can, if you have the ability to do that, because that too also is grace. When you fall back into your center, it's grace. Grace brings you here. So it's an indication whenever you go back to silence and you go to bliss, just that's the presence. The presence is showing itself to you. And this presence is always here. It doesn't go anywhere. And then at times, but you don't blame yourself that it's you who got away from it. It's just the way it is. Because you can't. Because if it was up to you, you would be in it all the time.
Can I say something? I think it's
Yeah.
God's will when I go away, and it's also God's will to go back to my center and find my center, because everything what happens in life with me teaching me, is teaching me to come closer to my essence of God.
Yeah, it appears to be that way.
It appears.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it
Funny.
appears to be that way. Yeah, it appears to be that there's a you, and there appears to be there's a God, and it appears that you are going somewhere. It looks like it. Yeah. It all looks like it's going somewhere.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, it just looks like it. It looks like something's going somewhere. It appears to be that way. It appears that I'm practicing more. It appears that I'm getting closer. It appears that I'm getting more centered. It, it all an appearance. It looks like it.
the great
And then,
illusion.
huh?
The great illusion. Nothing must be because all
It,
is here in every moment.
well,
Yes,
it's all itself. This
yes,
is a dance of itself
yeah,
with itself.
yeah.
So it's imagining itself in a way of explaining. It's imagining itself as like 7 billion people or whatever. I don't know how many people are around because I don't get to see more than a few at a time. So, even that is kind of tricky because if you look at it, is in all of your life, how many people have you seen? Maybe a few thousand people, the most you've seen in your life. That they passed in front of you. The rest of it is information. Like there's an information that there's millions of people, billions of people, but you don't get to see it and you don't know it. But these images of other people appearing and disappearing in front of you, so we get to see that. And these are just expressions of the one. It's the one that is in this play with itself that appears as many. so many different ones. And in this dance, it's hurting itself, it's fighting with itself, it's killing, it's marrying, having children. There's love, there's hate, there's ups and downs. But the ultimate understanding is to recognize that it's just itself. There's nothing outside of it. It's one that appears as many. The one that appears as so many. And that's the tricky part, is that if you can remind yourself and see through that when you're up and down, you can just not lose vision of this understanding. Even when it's tricking you to hate and to be really upset over whatever it is not necessarily being able to manipulate your feelings from hate to love, but having the understanding that it's itself, and there's really not anyone else, because nobody else. If you're powerless and you don't have choices, neither is anybody else. So then it's a fair game, because you can't come to this understanding that you're choiceless, you're powerless, but there's other people who they have their own free will. And you come across like some people, like everything's going their way. Anything they touch, it comes to gold. They're successful. Everything is happening for them. Like there isn't anything they can do wrong. And then there are times you may be experiencing, no matter what you do, everything falls apart. It's like there's nothing you can do right. And not fall into this self-blame or comparing yourself to them, because they're operating from the same power source and same will. It's the will of God for them to become successful. It's the will of God for you to fall and lose, make mistakes. Is to remember this, to really stay focused, that it's just, you're not doing it, you're not failing. If what appears to be failure is the will of God, what appears to be success is will of God. There's no person doing it. It's that which is doing it through everybody. And for whatever reason, right now, its expression through your life is failure. Or right now, its expression through your life is success. Right now, its expression through your life is you put your hands on people and they get healed. But there's going to be times you put your hands on people and nothing happens. And you think you're not a good healer. If you're practicing healing work or whatever, you think you are doing something wrong. No, it was never you healing anybody to begin with. It was it. But, because we have this sense of individuality and separation, we take it like we think it's me. Oh, wow, I'm a great healer. And, I put my hands, I look at people, they get healed. It appears to be that way. It looks like it. But it's that which gave the person the disease and that which healed that person simultaneously. Did it in both ways. It's the same force. It just creates duality. Out of oneness, it creates duality because it's one itself. So in oneness, there's nothing to compare anything to, because there's not even a question of duality because it's all one. There's nobody there questioning anything. But it's only in duality that we are seeking to become one. So that's where the game starts. But if you come to the oneness, then the game's over. There's nothing, there's no one there asking anything. Because even one doesn't exist. It's either nothing or it's two. There's nothing such as one. It's number zero, there's nothing in between, and it's number two. Zero is nothingness. It's not even one, because if you say one, in comparison to what? So when you go into the oneness doesn't exist. There's nothing. There's just nothingness. The oneness is only from our point of view, because we're living in this dual life. So we're talking about oneness. But in oneness, nobody's there to say anything. So it's either nothingness, and then from nothingness comes others, other things, stuff. They're born out of it. So it manifests everything, and then it just goes back to itself. When you sleep and you don't dream, you're sleeping, you're not dreaming. There's not even you there. Even you disappear. You wake up the next day and you say, oh my God, I was gone. I had amazing sleep. I was gone last night. Because there's nobody there to take any account, any report. There's nothing. Then you're awake, you come back, your body comes, and your family comes back, your home comes back, your country comes back, your problems come back, your pain, your sorrow, or your joy, everything comes back because you're just reborn from nothingness into this. So it keeps going. But it's not going anywhere. It just appears and disappears. So you never need to worry about what's going to happen, because the truth of the matter is that the being is always here. It just changes the forms in what appears to be. But the being is behind all of it. So the world or your existence is never going to end. It's always been here. It's endless. I mean, just having a simple academy, millions of different elements have to cooperate. First of all, you have to feel healthy to be able to attend or to teach. Your body has to say yes. Then technology also has to agree. Okay, today we're going to have electricity. Today we're going to have internet. Today is not going to be a storm coming. Today is, you're at your home, all of a sudden the alarm goes off because of some smoke or whatever. Something happens and you can't do it. Or suddenly your mom calls and says, oh, I'm really sick. Come and pick me up and take me to the hospital. So millions of different things need to cooperate with each other in order for us to do a simple thing. It looks super simple, but we don't realize millions of different elements behind this are cooperating with each other for a very simple thing to do, to come and sit here and have this together for 1 hour. but millions of other staff have cooperated. And if anybody's interested in taking a one-on-one training program with me, you're welcome to contact me and we'll talk about it. Namaste.